Ovacık is a very small town located on a plain that is 74 square kilometers in the mountains of the northwest of Tunceli. And the river Munzur that flows through the center of Tunceli comes into existence in village Seyahat in Ovacık. The worldwide famous kırmızı benekli alabalık is Ovacık's one of the most known products. Also, Ovacık includes bigger part of the plain Munzur, which is the biggest national park of Turkey. In this national park, there is a foundation breeding 200,000 alabalık yearly. When people talk about Tunceli, mostly the river Munzur is among the first beauties that occurs to the mind. It has a marvelous spring in Ovacık. The water of the spring comes out with the color of milk, and there are 40 small springs which are called as Gozeler'e around the biggest one. However, how these excellent springs took shape has been a mystery for years. There are some legends about the Munzur stream and Gozeler'e. The most common one is called Father Munzur's legend. According to the legend, there is a shepherd called Munzur who lives in the village Seyahat in Ovacık, which I mentioned before. Munzur works for his lord, the prophet Ibrahim. He puts the sheep out to pasture for his lord. And one day, it's time to go Mecca for the prophet Ibrahim. When he is in Mecca, Munzur suddenly thinks that his lord desires for sweet. So he goes to his lord's wife and says, "Madam, my lord desires for hot sweet. If you prepare, I will take it to him." At first, Munzur saying so baffles the lady. But then she thinks that poor Munzur wants sweet to eat by himself and cannot say this clearly because he feels shame. So he pretends that his lord desires for sweet. Then lady immediately prepares the sweet, ties in a bundle and gives it to Munzur. "I prepared it. Take it and bring it to your lord quickly to eat it hot." Munzur gets the sweet and in 1 second carries it to his lord, the prophet Ibrahim. In the same seconds, the prophet Ibrahim performs the ritual prayer. When the Lord suddenly sees Munzur standing around him with the sweet in his hands in Mecca, he is confused. Then Munzur says, "My Lord, as you desired for hot sweet, I brought it to you." Munzur hands in the sweet. The prophet Ibrahim takes the just prepared sweet and raises his head to say something to Munzur. But he cannot see Munzur there. The Lord completes his pilgrimage and returns from Mecca to his village Seyahat in Ovacık. All the villagers are ready at the entrance of the village to welcome the prophet Ibrahim. They stand there with presents in their hands. And Munzur is also there to welcome his Lord. As he doesn't have something good to give his Lord as a present, he wants to welcome his Lord with a bowl of milk. When the Lord arrives in the village, Munzur walks towards the Lord to kiss the Lord's hands and give his present. However, also the villagers try to kiss the Lord's hands. Meanwhile, the Lord raises his head again and says to the crowd loudly, "The one whose hand must be kissed is here. The real pilgrim is Munzur, and I will kiss his hands before everyone." Munzur doesn't want them, especially the Lord, to kiss his hands. When he sees everybody, including the Lord, coming towards him, he wants to escape. Then he runs away towards the mountains, which are called Munzur Mountains today, and gets out of sight. While Munzur was running, the bowl of milk falls down and the milk spills just there. And the ground where milk drops becomes the spring of river Munzur. Water gushes out there with the color of milk. After the falling, Munzur stands up again and takes another 40 steps. And he disappears that day. Anyone cannot see him again. By the way, all of these steps create new 40 small springs by gushing water. And these 40 steps are called as Gozeler'e today. In fact, Ovacık has got lots of other miracle places to mention. All of them have their own legends. However, Gozeler'e and the river Munzur are the most known beauties of Tunceli. You must visit and listen their stories from the villagers, of course. Adoring these perfect places is inevitable if you see only once.